In today's live stream video, I'm going to discuss with my guest his reselling business, and he'll explain how we can make money reselling items that we purchase at yard and garage sales. He'll share his tips and strategies to help make us more successful and profitable resellers. Every Wednesday, I have a live stream, and I usually interview another reseller and have them share their tips, tricks, and techniques to make us more knowledgeable and profitable resellers. If you're a reseller or you're interested in becoming a reseller, then you're in the right place. I'm going to pop in the chat and say hello to a few people, and then we shall get started very shortly, guys. Appreciate you all being here. I saw Sharon was here, Randy's here, Mike Flipping Goodies, Joe Philly Picker, Wendy. Appreciate you all being here. And Lisa, I'm sure we're going to learn quite a bit from my guest. My guest today is Harry Humstone. Probably most of you know who Harry is, but I'm going to have Harry come on. He's going to introduce himself and tell us a little bit about himself. And then we'll get into his reselling business, and then we'll get into he's stellar at sourcing from yard and garage sales. So I really want to get into that a little bit about strategies, and hopefully we can learn from Harry. So let me bring Harry on, and I'll have him introduce himself to those of you that don't know Harry. Hello, sir.
How you doing?
Doing great. Glad you could make it and join us and educate us about reselling.
Ooh. You're in trouble.
We're in trouble.
Nah, it's good. It's all good. Hey, Mike, Flipping Mike. I see some of the people I know. So
yeah, you probably know quite a few of the people in the chat.
Yeah,
so we have
you
a
might
lot of
lose
the
a
same
few
people
subs after this show, but you took a chance.
Once you get, like I said, for the people that don't know you or watching the replay, why don't you tell the people in the chat a little bit about yourself?
I am Harry Humstone, and I love the yard sale. That's a big thing to me. And garage sales, yard sales, estate sales. Plus, I'm lucky enough to come into cleanouts before the actual cleanout crew goes in, and everything's free. I save it from the dumpster. So I've done well last few years. If you ever see my videos, you'll see stuff I pick up. It's no bull. It's stuff I get cheap. It's a good place to get it cheap. Just get up early, and you can, if you're in a good area, you can do well. So that's how I get everything you see: golf clubs and stereo and antiques, which I like. And I go after old vintage glass and typewriters and dummies and stuff like that. So
dummies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was going to make a joke, but I better not.
That's fine.
Okay. Okay. So we're going to, again, I want to ask you a little bit about your background. You're in Delaware.
Yes.
You work a full-time job and you do reselling part-time.
Yes. Quarter time. I haven't kicked in until January is when I'm going to kick in. When they start one sale or $600, you're going to get taxed anyway. So might as well dive in. I'm going to try to get up to about 300 listings, 300 to 500, and see what happens. So.
Okay, so come January, you kind of ramp up your business a little bit.
Oh, I'm ramping up. Soon as January hits, I'm gonna bang it, man. I mean, I'm gonna be taking pictures right now. Come on, you got to go. Go. That's the dog. Luna always wants in the picture. She's bored. So.
For those of you that are animal lovers, Harry has boxers.
Yeah, this is the third one. So.
The third one, and apparently he's very attached to Harry.
You better have energy if you get a boxer. They're very high.
I told you earlier in a pre-chat that a friend of my mother's had them, and they have a lot of energy.
Crazy stuff.
So I guess you have, I don't need the details, but I guess you have several more years. You're going to work your full-time job before you kind of gear up to doing full-time reselling.
I would 6 at most, and because I'm old, as you can see, and
can't beat father time.
Two at least. Boy, I'd love to go full time, but when you have a great job, not a great paying job, you don't like it, you hate it. Most people do hate their job, including myself, but it's hard to turn down guaranteed money. So, and
good
it's very
benefits,
flexible for me to do if there's a pick and there's 2 of us there, I can go to the office and just say, hey, and they see me jumping, they know what I'm after. So they'll say, go.
Oh, Roy, you have the freedom you can.
Oh yeah, I've done it. I've done it several times, and they know because I'm dancing around, man. And they're going, go, just go. So can't beat it.
So you have a crew. You work in a hospital, so you have a crew of people that do what you do as well. So that they'll
just
say
one other, just one. He has to be there. If he's not there,
yeah, if the
doesn't
emergency,
matter
right?
how
Yeah.
much dancing you're staying.
Right.
So
But that's good to see the flexibility. I know Mike Flipping Goodies kind of has a type of job also where you can kind of pick things up on Facebook Marketplace, and we're going to get that into that a little bit. But yeah, if you have that flexibility, it's great.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic, and plus the weekends are off.
Right.
All
the weekends off as well, right?
That's huge. I'd have a hard time working Saturdays, especially from spring. Right now is a hot time. Spring's a hot time. It cools, summer, everybody's leaving, but there's still stuff happening, and I'm lucky enough to hit the right spots. Seems like the end of the day, I always hit the right spot and find. You only need one house, and that's where somebody's got what you're after. And then
it seems like in our area, like spring, mid to late spring, and then again come late summer, early fall is when the yard sales kind of pick up, like this time of year.
Yeah, I plan on even doing.
Like you said, there's a lot of community yard sale guys. So I can see the people in the chat; they're all experienced resellers. But for the people that aren't, this is the time of year, guys. Gear up and plan your routes and research before the weekend hits and be ready to go out, because a lot of communities do town-wide yard sales this time of year in the fall.
Oh yeah, there's new neighborhoods are great for a reseller, because guess what? You will sell clothes and baby stuff, any of that. It's and it's a higher end neighborhood. That kid might not even wear half of that stuff or used half. Stuff's brand new in a box. How much? $2, $5, $3. You could start. Then everybody's got something on their phone now, except me, but they're using the barcodes. Boop, zoop, zoop, and they're bang. They go out with like this, 2 trips. So
I stay away from children's clothes, but I'm sure there's money in it if you.
It's not just that; it's their toys, and it's.
Give me 1 second. I lost my headphone here. I don't want to get the feedback. How that happened, but it did. All right. Must have had my chair hit the. Okay, we're good now. Say something so I can hear you.
Oh, we're good.
Okay, I can hear you now. Okay, I tell my guests I always get feedback for some reason on this channel, so I have headphones plugged in, and my chair must have been on my cord. It's like, why is my speaker playing on my computer? So that's why I have my chair. So anyway, we're good to go. All right, yeah. So yard sales, and you were talking about children's clothing, new and bag, and
all that stuff. I mean, I've seen people pick up puzzles, and there's all kinds of stuff that's new that child or teenager, they don't wear stuff long because they're growing. So if you're into kid stuff and all the toys and stuff, which toys are good.
Toys, especially this time of year. And again, I'm speaking to the experienced resellers. You already know this, but I was watching Johnny earlier today. He said, get your toys up, and I was going to say the same thing in this chat. 2 things I want to remind you guys: get your toys up now. If you have things in I call it a cash pile, get them listed now, guys, because people are going to start shopping for Christmas time already. And the other thing is, I want to remind you all that that the would be the third quarter coupon, eBay store supply coupon, expires at the end of September, so you have a couple more weeks to use it. So we're at the middle of September already, believe it or not. So you only have 2 weeks if you have that eBay store supply coupon. Make sure you use it before the end of the month. Okay.
One big thing you're going to find is video games. And
video games.
You can get bags of them, because especially that new Xbox 14,000 comes out, then all the old Xbox stuff's on the lawn. And $25, $50, $10. I mean, you're getting it all. And these guys all sell, because I watch them resell their resell videos. What sold this week? And here they go. Mario Kart 17. Bought it for $1, $25. That's the stuff that they're after. I like to go to the older neighborhoods because I want antiques, as you can see. Insulators, typewriters, milk bottles. Now the big thing is I'm after this stuff, and this is cool because these are easy sellers, and especially that. That's a Scotty Cameron putter. I got a whole bag of them, for free, plus a
For
whole
free.
load of golf clubs for free. So, and
Wow.
now I'm starting to buy them at yard sales. You won't find those at yard sales for free, but you'll find Ping, you'll find Cleveland putters, you'll find Ping clubs, you'll find a lot of stuff that somebody just got their new set and they're done with that set, or they went twice and they had money to blow and they bought a good set, and there it goes at the yard sale, $25, $50. You're out the yard with $500 of clubs in your hand. Very easy to ship too. So
Yeah, we're going to get that in shortly, but we were talking pre-chat, and you said you work on a hospital, so you get a lot of boxes and shipping supplies for free.
I get a folded box that is just perfect, and I can throw a whole set in that box, just bubble wrap a little here, bubble wrap each head, and throw them in, close the box, bam, send it FedEx, or I give them 3 choices, and FedEx is one. They always pick FedEx, and there it goes all over the country.
Now, you were saying UPS and I guess FedEx obviously are cheaper to ship obviously than USPS.
Well, it seems like when I was looking before and I was just using the post office, FedEx was you could check down and see, and FedEx was always whooping ass.
You compare the rates, right?
Yeah, $10, $20, and UPS was even doing better. Now, if you're going to carry a package and you're not getting that eBay discount, you'll probably use post office. But with that discount, everybody's been picking FedEx, and there it goes.
It's funny you said that. I was half contemplating bringing it up. Like I said, I know most of the people in the chat, and I appreciate you guys all being here. And maybe you're here for Harry, maybe you're here for me, maybe you're here for both. I hope you're here for me too. But I'm sure Harry has a big following. Hello, Tommy. By the way, Tommy's a big follower of Harry's.
Tommy's
fellow Delawarean.
He's my favorite.
Yeah, but I saw somebody shipped me out something, and again, guys, I don't claim to be an expert. I mean, I've been reselling for 3.5, 4 years now. Watch a lot of reselling shows and channels and try to keep updated. And I'm a relatively intelligent person, yada yada yada. But I don't claim to be an expert. If I don't know something, I'll tell you I don't know. But I had something shipped to me the other day, and the person purchased the shipping at retail at the USPS. Guys, if you're, I understand some of you get a discount because you're top rated seller or top rated plus through eBay. So a lot of times it's cheaper or the same just to ship it through eBay or whatever platform you're using. But if you're shipping outside of that platform, if you're shipping something and you're using USPS or whatever other service, right now, Pirate Ship only does USPS. Allegedly, they're going to add another service. I don't know if it's UPS or FedEx, but with the prices of USPS going up, they're pulsing them now come the holidays, and they're having another price increase come January. So if you're shipping out stuff on your own, guys, consider using Pirate Ship or ShipPro or one of these other services. It's a lot cheaper than paying retail. I mean, it could be 15, 20, 30% cheaper. So, even if you're just going to use a inkjet printer and, cut the label out, Randy was kind enough to hook me up with a thermal printer, and, it took me a while to get it working, but it's a game changer. I mean, thermal printers, if you're doing any kind of volume, consider looking into a thermal printer. And again, purchase your postage at home online as opposed to paying retail.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, enough preaching, but some of the newer sellers don't know that. I was surprised that I got something and the person shipped it through at retail. So it is what it is. We all learn from each other, and that's why I like having other resellers on to share their opinions and their expertise. Okay, let's see what else you want to talk about. Now, you said, I think you told me you have 1 or 2 eBay stores, and that you might eventually gear up to having a regular store. But right now, you're just using.
I don't have a store at all. I just sell. I mean, I go with what they give me free, and I got like 90 listings now. That's the most I've had.
You're up to 90, but you said you went gear up come January. You're going to have quite a bit more.
Yeah, I'll go. I'll probably do I still don't know. I'm not sure.
Whether you do the starter or you do the basic store.
I may, or I'll go you said there's 50 free a month. I'll just go to 50. The 50, because some of my stuff takes a couple months to sell, and I'm sure everybody's does, but I'll pipe it up, and then I'll look in the stores and all that. I'll see the best avenue for me, because I'll still, if I'm selling a couple things a day, my goal next year is to make more than I did this year. So just fooling around, I'm probably close to 10 grand. So
That's great. And then, yeah, I wouldn't call that fooling around if you're making 10 grand.
well, that's going to pay for, who knows? I mean, I got 2 kids in college. I got lots of different things. And
Oh,
just
you still have children in college?
yeah, one's a senior, one's a sophomore. So
Well, that can be expensive.
there's everything hits you. You don't know when the car's going to go or something, even though they're new ones. So
Yeah, you never know. You try to put away money for, those type of things, but
well, the one thing is that I can't keep getting inventory because it's hoarding. And if you see my basement now, my garage, you would say, "Oh, he's a hoarder." But I got a plan. So if not, then it's got to go. So I'll have one monster yard sale. Tommy can come down, buy it all, and then he'll have
Tommy can buy all the stuff.
He'll have a great stockpile, and I'll quit. But I'm not quitting. I'm having too much. It's too easy. Last night, I sold a baseball glove while I was sleeping. I never bought baseball gloves till a couple yard sales ago from watching some of these guys go out and come home with gloves and bats. And if you can pay $2 and make 29, I think everybody's going to do that. So, and that's some of those going 50, 60, $70. Why not?
Well, that's why we watch, what's sold videos, because, other people, again, your miles may vary. You might not have opportunities, but again, if you know that baseball gloves in good condition are going to sell, or if you know that, baseball bats or softball bats or whatever sell well. And I see people even picking up baseball and softball bats in thrift stores, depending upon the price of doing well.
Here's
the
little
show and tell there.
Here's the stuff I like. So, piece of glass. So I can buy this for $5 or a baseball glove for $5, and I've only got 5 left. I'm buying the glove because this is harder to sell for me. What am I going to get for this? 15, maybe 20. That glove's going to get me $30. So that's and saying here's Weller pottery again. This takes longer to sell than that baseball glove. So golf clubs, baseball. A lot of that stuff sells quick unless you got something rare and really desirable and you price it right, then it'll go. But I like things that's not going to break better than things that do break.
Well, I guess that's the thing too with golf clubs. Like I said, you wrap the head, you probably put some filler in the boxes, and then you're good to go.
Fill, shake it, make sure to shake it around a little. You don't hear a noise. Seal it and send it out the door. And I've gotten good feedback on damn near every golf club I've sold. So it's just easy. And I was watching, there's 3 of them that are selling. Carolina Flipper, I think, is the one that I watch. And then there's a couple other guys. How easy it is. And they've been doing this. I've been watching them, not paying attention. I always just wanted the wood shaft ones. But when I picked up that van load, it was because of wood shaft ones. And then I got everything else with it. So now I'm buying them. So what the hell? So.
Yeah, I think again, I would reach out to you, or obviously you said you're sourcing your boxes at the hospital, or reach out to Mike, Flipping Goodies, because Mike does a lot with golf clubs as well, as far as what type of boxes to ship, and probably the best way to ship. I think I told you, I think I shared it. I have conversation with other resellers. Half the time I forget who I talked to about it, but told you how we had I thought it was a community yard sale, quote unquote, in a nice area, but it ended up being a flea market that was basically geared towards vendors. It was for charity, which was all well and good, but when I got there, they were all professional vendors, and they had eBay prices, but and they had some golf clubs, and I didn't even recognize the brands. They were like all off brands, or all beat up. I didn't see any decent golf clubs to pick up. And I told you they had a Titleist hat there. It looked like it had mold on it and dirt on it. It's like I wouldn't even sell this stuff, But again, that's why I wanted to bring you on, because you're the guy that finds the stuff at these yard sales and garage sales, and you can share some of your tips and tricks as far as how you source and what you look for. You said you sort of look in communities that said that have to do with, I guess, more expensive homes, maybe that they're golfers and replace their golf clubs, or what's the story behind
golf course community has a community yard sale. You're going to hit that because there's going to be probably 5-6 homes that's got them out in their yard, and down here, it's all new homes anyway, so it's all out in the yard. They're just giving it away. But the Halloween decorations are all out this time of year for nothing. $5. You can, if you ever see the blow ups, and
Well, they're called blow molds, I believe, right? I've never picked them up.
Blow molds too, but you know the ones you plug in and it blows up.
Okay, the one that inflate.
Those damn things are through the roof too. You can get them for $5 in a box. Grab it. No, I think people will. Everybody comps everything that's a reseller now. They're comping if the sod on the lawn. If they can resell, they're going to do it. I've watched. I mean, they're quick down the tables too with the phones, and I do it differently. But I always have my eye for the old stuff, and then I kind of go space out. Like I didn't even see the golf clubs. My last video, first yard I went into, I seen a pair of headphones, and they were vintage, and I knew it. So I had my eye on them, and she wanted 10, and I said, "I'll take 5. Would you take 5?" She said, "No, it's too early." She says, "I got golf clubs." I went right by them. There was a wheelbarrow.
You went right by the golf clubs.
2 sets. And two putters. I looked at the putters, and I had time. She's sitting, which I can't see her. So I comped the putter, and that's like an $80 putter. So I said, "How much are putters?" She said, $5, and $15.50. They all look brand new. I just took them all. She had duct tape around them. Take a little, squirt that goo on there. Goo
gone.
Yeah, it's gone. What residue was left behind. And then I get all these, and there was that ping that at the beginning, I just said, "Oh, this is extra. Looks brand new." $68 gone that night. As soon as I put it on, go to sleep, it's gone. And across seas, they paid for it. So goes to Kentucky, and then it's bye-bye.
So you did global shipping programs?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I hit that. There's no doubt about it. It's too easy. That again, it's very easy. So why wouldn't you? Because once after it leaves Kentucky, I understand it's theirs. I mean, if it breaks or anything, when they get it, that's Kentucky's problem, not mine. So.
I had a problem when I first got into the reselling, and I had a guy buying stuff from Argentina, and I found out after the fact that Argentina is one of the countries you probably shouldn't ship to.
Right.
But I was selling jeans, and I was trying to get set up for global shipping program. The person that had me set up, it didn't work right, and I was panicking, and I was going to get a ding for shipping late. I ended up paying for myself the shipping. Shipped it to Argentina, just a pair of jeans. So it cost me like $20 some. And the guy said, "Oh, I'll pay it." He got it, claimed they were altered. They weren't altered. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to eat the $20 to ship it out there, $20 to ship it back. So again, it's a lesson learned. I mean, it's it was unfortunate. I was really upset about it, but it's the cost of doing business. But yeah, your global shipping program, guys, again, sometimes I say do as I say, not as I do. If you're not involved with global shipping program, definitely look into it. You just got to ship it to Kentucky and get it to Kentucky safely in one piece, and then eBay handles the rest, and they collect the excise tax or whatever's involved, and then they know if you can ship it. I know there has been some issues where you ship things to eBay global shipping program, and then they find out that you can't ship that particular item to that country for no reason. I don't know all the rules and regulations, but apparently there's some things you can't ship to other countries. I don't know what they would be, but I see that.
Animals, and I did know something that was you couldn't, and I can't think of it now, but I think live animals you can't ship.
Well, no, I wouldn't ship a live animal. I definitely would ship a live animal to Kentucky and have it go overseas. Thanks, Harry. I need the laugh. Thank you. See that, guys, if you're not watching Harry's YouTube, we'll talk about it towards the end of the show. You got to watch Harry's YouTube show because you get this kind of joking and entertainment from Harry's channel. Don't ship live animals to global shipping program, guys. That's a pro tip.
Pick up only.
Okay. So you also said you source on Facebook Marketplace, correct?
Yep. It's fantastic. If I live in this area, it sucks, really. So don't even bother looking, because there's nothing on there. So no, it's
well, between you and Tommy, I'm sure there's not much left. Sure, when do you get it?
I'm lucky because Tommy's into different things than me, but he's down in Mongolia, so Delaware. So I don't have to pay. He's down there. He's off.
Oh, he's down further south.
He has his own territory. We're like mobsters. This is my territory. He's down there. So
see, Tommy knows. Leather to like Italy, knives, toy guns,
Yeah.
Australia. The list is immense. Okay.
Yeah. So, but he knows he's got his gig going, and I'm after a totally different thing than him. And we might meet with, if I know like some hats and golf clubs and stuff, but as far as antiques, I don't think he could give two flies about antiques and shoes and stuff. I stay away from that now until I can learn more. Maybe down the road, if I see a brand new pair of Nikes, yeah, and it's $2 in somebody's yard and they're size 9, I'm grabbing it. But that's rare. I don't pay attention to it too much.
Okay, so I want to get a little bit into, like I said, your sourcing mainly about, the yard sales and garage sales, and like I said, you specialize in the golf clubs. You said you like Red Line Hot Wheels. You also do typewriters.
Yeah, this is if you can find these. I used to when I was yard selling, and these are little gold bars too. That's the U.S. mail job. I forget what this even. Oh, it's a special delivery. I knew that's a ice blue, baby, ice blue. Not ice, but ice blue, and that's
Okay.
almost mint. So that's probably, who knows, probably 50, 60 bucks. I don't even comp them anymore or look on eBay because I don't sell them. I collect the red lines. That was one of my first collections, but I wouldn't say I specialize in golf clubs, but I know enough that I'm dangerous now. Some of the and it's very easy to comp something when you're in somebody's yard. But typewriters,
I think Wendy's asking it. She said, if you see, I think she's asking, do you sell at flea markets?
No. I have a yard sale in early spring, and I'm going to have my end of the year smashing yard sale in November when I know everybody else is done.
Well, let Tommy pre-pick it.
Oh, absolutely. He can come up anytime. Come have we'll have some coffee and donuts at my shack.
Maybe get some content. You two guys can film it.
We met at a place in Dover about a month ago, a little over a month ago. We'll probably hang out again sometime. He's busy. I'm busy. It's hard right now, especially with the COVID stuff.
What's going on in the world. I'm probably gonna have some kind of meetup, but I'm waiting for all this stuff to die down. I'm hoping sooner rather than later.
In our area,
meet up either here or right across the bridge.
Yeah, we have a lot of people right now. I've seen Jersey Gypsies in here. She's part of the Beach Blanket Bingo team that from Jersey. There's 2 of them I know, and there's 7 Philly flippers now.
Yeah, right.
One was in here earlier.
In the chat earlier in the show.
The original Philly flipper for me is Joe, and then
there's Philly picker, Philly flipper. There's all kind of Philly
the big
things.
one comes in.
And there's all kind of Pittsburgh pickers, and Pittsburgh's a little far for us to travel.
Paul's the big one. Then there's Abington Paul. He's out of it, but I think the only one that actually lives in Philly is Joe. So
Joe the Philly picker, right?
He's like the cheesesteak. He's a real thing. He's
the real deal.
He's not on Main Line, and he's not in Abington or any place like that. That's bad. You can use Philly because that's our city near us. So we've always said.
Yeah, they call it. I don't know why they call it the Delaware Valley, but they do. So I'm literally about 3 miles from the stadium complex and probably about a mile from Center City, Philadelphia. So we're just a suburb of Philadelphia, basically. I was going to ask you too, do you source online at all, or do you do any kind of retail or online arbitrage at all?
No, not anymore. I kind of Craigslist. I don't know if that's sourcing, but I get information from Craigslist still. But as far as any sourcing online, no, it's just the Facebook stuff and hitting what's hot on the weekends. And when I get really desperate, I might hit a Goodwill. Most of the time, there's nothing there, but you get lucky once in a while. So,
yeah, like you and I were discussing pre-chat, if when you get more into full time or get into full time, and then like you said, you maybe pick one day a week and you're going to hit the route of the Goodwills and Salvation Armies or whatever, or like you said, if you're out picking something else up, with Facebook Marketplace deal or something. Maybe find out if there's any kind of local thrift stores in the area. Stop in while you're out there. I mean, you're out there anyway, right?
Oh yeah, I was in Jersey when my father was in. I think up there in Voorhees, and
Uh-huh.
I checked. I seen here's a Goodwill here, here's Goodwill there. So I left and went to one, but it was bad. I forget which one town because you up there up in your area, it's like bang 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 bang. There's
Yeah, my
no
mother
break.
was in assisted living in Voorhees, so
There
yeah, I know
might
that
be a
area.
couple trees, yeah. So, but it's
Voorhees is
all.
a little more exclusive. Back in the day, a lot of the Flyers lived in that area,
Hmm.
Philadelphia Flyers.
But he was. That's. So I hit one up there just to hit it, and it was nothing really. So it's a
You might
big.
even hit Berlin on the Whitehurst Pike. I've been there a few times. It wasn't worth my time. Big store. It was like an old supermarket, but it wasn't worth my time going up there.
Well, I've heard Berlin flea market's kind of like our Newcastle County one now. It's not good. So if I'm you, Columbus isn't far from you. That's a good place to go probably on the weekend.
Yeah, eventually, I'm hoping maybe the fall. With the weather breaks a little bit. A lot of walking, which is good and bad. But yeah, when the weather breaks and it's a little cooler, I think I'm gonna try to get up to Columbus. Maybe I'll. I know there's a couple people in Johnny's chat that are from this area as well. Maybe we can meet up for coffee or something when we're up there and hit Columbus.
Well, we was going to. We had it all figured out, and my wife broke her foot, and I had to fly to Maine and pick her up. So that was squashed. So it didn't happen, and it was hotter than hell. It's probably
Yeah,
good to go up there in the fall because they'll load that. I heard that place is a monster too. So I'm
and
gonna find.
rocks, and I think it's still the same on Thursdays. There were some not free goods, new goods. On other days, I think it's like 3 days a week they do the flea market. I think on Thursdays they have new goods and used goods. And I think the other 2 or 3 days it's all used goods.
Yeah, I
But
want junk. I want to get out in the
you want to
antique.
get when you want to buy the used goods, you want to buy the antiques and those type of things.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so absolutely. So you definitely want to. So Craig comes into the chat, says hello to Harry, doesn't say hello to Adam. Thanks a lot, Craig. I appreciate
Hello,
it.
everybody. I see Mike, Wendy,
I'm just teasing, Craig.
Horizon Picks. How you doing,
Come on
everybody?
my channel, say hello to Harry, don't say hello to me. That's how you feel, huh? All right, why don't you give us some of your tips again? I'm trying to, maybe mind meld with you as far as sourcing for yard sales and garage sales. The one thing you did say that with the golf clubs, you find if you go in like the golf communities, where you find that they're running like an area sale, a community sale. That's one way. I guess also Facebook Marketplace. Look for clubs.
Well, get out, get up early, number one, and get into the community yard sales, and then after that, on yard sale overtime, then start hitting that's when I just hit the road. I just start driving around because I don't mind driving, and ones that you didn't know, and those most of the time, probably 50% of the time, not most of the time, but you hit a yard, and I mean it's just loaded because everybody's at the community yard sale, and these people said, "I don't want to take it back in the house. How much? How much?" I was at one 2 weeks ago, and they had all those. I still don't know what the hell they are. I had the one that I sold. It was Mackinac Island. They're a flat piece of wood on the back. It tells you what it is. On the front, people put them on like their woodwork and stuff above doors. They're them wood houses. And anywhere you go, they're in craft stores. She had a giant bin full of them, all brand new in a box, and she sold me that for $3 a piece. For $3, I could have got the whole bloody thing for probably $150. I just didn't want to bring it home, and I should have. Again, she had a ton of those Bradford Exchange or whatever those plates. I asked,
she was a collector, hoarder or collector, whatever you want to call it.
No, this was a person that owned the store in Middletown.
Oh, she owned the store and she was okay.
And she went out of business, and it's been sitting 20 years. Gotcha. And then she's saying, "I want it all out of here." So she's got probably 500, 600 plates on the porch, all in their boxes, everything. I didn't bother looking through them, and I don't know why. I just didn't. I was towards the end. I was running down on money, but just to grab, say, Wizard of Oz. They're going to sell. They're brand new in the box. They got every piece of paper that comes with it. So, and 2 of 5,000, or this is 17 of 200. All that. Somebody, I called back and said, "Do you still have it? I'm going to come back tomorrow." It was all gone. So somebody come in after me and went out with a fortune. So
Well, that's the other thing too, and again, you're the pro in yard sales and garage sales, but I suggest that you always have plenty of money. If you don't, you can always, I guess, hide it somewhere in your car if you don't want to, carry it on your purse. And a lot of times, if you have change too, if you have ones, fives, tens, 20s, you'd be surprised, especially when you hit some of these yard sales and people are experienced with yard sales, they have no change in the morning. So then, and again, I was going to ask you, what about the early bird rule? What's your philosophy on the early bird rule?
that. Early bird gets the worm. If you're going to be afraid, then stay home. Have some ones. Take $200 to $500, and if you're afraid that neighborhood, I wouldn't go in it. But nobody's going to have it in bad. They usually have them in good areas. I've never felt threatened. I leave my car running sometimes.
Oh, you leave your car running?
Houses,
I wouldn't do that.
I put the window down and jump out. And if it's not
no way,
moving,
not my luck. I wouldn't do that.
I leave it going, man. There's just because if you wait till when that yard sale starts, most neighborhoods got those skinny little roads, and everybody's packed in, and somebody pulls up to your bumper like this. You can't move. Nobody's and that one dude's sitting as his person jumped out of the car or truck, and they're sitting in the middle, so nobody's moving. So that's where I'm done with that neighborhood. I hit them early, and I get it, because if it says 8, they're out there at 7. Half of them were already set up. So if it says 7, I was in the dark. At 6:30, I was in the last one, and 3 of them already were set up. And one guy beat me to 1 yard. So he's after gold and silver.
Long time no see, Ty. Thanks for stopping by, my friend. It's been a long time. Good to see you.
Monkey cage.
What the hellfire is going up here in this monkey cage?
It's the big monkey.
How are you bringing out all the oldies but goodies?
He's in Tracy Tommy's chat. So
okay.
One thing I do like is when you got a chance and you see collections. Like when I picked up these, I went to the dude's house, and I missed it by a day. So I thought I was going to. He says a basement full. I'm chatting with him of milk bottles. So I know about this stuff because this is stuff I had when I was a kid. And I thought, shoot, I missed it. This dude picked all the Delaware milk bottles. Well, he picked whatever he picked, but he still left tons. These things, good money, 20, 30, 40, $50.
You were saying something about war bond bottles?
War bond ones, yep. Anything that says war bond stamped on the back, anything to do with World War II, you can start putting up. They can go into $200 and $300. I didn't know that. I thought these were $15, $20 bottles, and a lot of them are. See, even this part here, it's got advertisement on it. Some of these will go for $10 and $20 alone. That's a piece of paper. That's cardboard. So
it's cardboard.
Stuff I like cardboard inserts for the top that they would put. I don't know what else they'd have in there when they delivered these bad boys back in the day. This one's a PA from Spring City, PA milk bottle. I got
you had some kind of a specialized beer can. You said it's very, very rare, but you said it's very valuable.
Yeah, this is when drinking was fun. Look at that. That's kind of a semi-roached one. You ever see these? These are cone top beer cans. Big stinking money. They're hard to find. Most of them you find in walls. People can dig these up in upstate New York and in Canada and stuff, and they still are worth a lot of money, especially if you find a rare one, even if it has a hole in it. If a worm come out of it and it said something in that brewery never heard of, it still could be worth a few $100.
You said they're probably from the 40s, right?
Yeah, they're all in the 40s. I think they stopped. Matter of fact, I told you about the brake fluid. Well, they turned these into brake fluid. So some of the earlier brake fluid cans just stuck their label on, and there's a cone top underneath. So you ever see that and you see color behind there and it's peel that damn thing off, you might have a rare can underneath, and who knows?
Oh, is that what they did? So they used that type of can. They just used it for
every
oil.
City had tons of breweries at the time too. If you look at cone tops and look at solds, it's nuts the prices they go for. It's just it's a rare can, but you might see it on a table one day. when you're out in that yard sale.
Like I asked you to show that because I think that's something that would kind of stick in our mind if we happen to see it out in the wild. We say, "Oh, that's what Harry mentioned on Adam's show." We'd take a look at it.
Well, I've had people find insulators and stuff, but they'll text me and show me pictures. It's just most of them you see again. They're no big deal. They're just good for tea lights. But if you've seen a whole box of them, you start seeing colors, start grabbing, especially cobalt blues and just the ambers and stuff. Just like any, it's a rare glass and it's worth a lot of money. So.
When you get a little bit back and kind of wrap up, not to wrap up, but kind of in a little more in detail as far as the yard sales. I'm assuming you use Craigslist. What other apps or websites do you use when you're researching your yard sales?
Craigslist, you'll see it pop up on Facebook Marketplace, and there's yardsale.net. That comes up, and of course, your local paper still may have a couple. Like we have Delaware Online.
Okay,
we'll pop up on there.
So you subscribe to the paper, quote unquote, that's online, and you look at the classified section.
I go in for free, I'll just Craigslist has enough on there still. And this time of year, I looked today, so there was probably in our state so far on Craigslist over 10. There's a few down towards Tommy, and there's a whole slew up by me. And I didn't even check Jersey, South Jersey.
Right.
Or the Philadelphia area, so I'm sure there's a lot up that area too.
I guess you join the various Facebook Marketplace groups, Facebook groups that got the yard sales.
Yeah. But the thing is a lot of these yard sales pop up, and then I see it's Topeka, Kansas. What the hell's that even doing on my page? But that's just something, or it's already you say, I'm going there, and it's hold on, that was June 18th, so you already missed. They didn't remove it yet. So.
What about Nextdoor? Do you use Nextdoor at all?
Never heard of it. Now I will.
I'm going to show you real fast. Every once in a while, I come up with a good idea, guys. I don't know how much you can see that. You probably can't see it that well. You see in that right corner, it's actually green. It looks orange on my screen. It's an app that you load to your phone. It's called Nextdoor. You don't find a lot, but it's kind of like a mini Facebook, and people advertise, sale things for sale. They advertise, if a dog's lost or cat's lost or there's somebody breaking into the cars. It's like local news and yard sales, that type of thing. So that's something else you can put in your utility belt to help you look for yard sales.
You can't have enough. I hear Nextdoor and I'm thinking something risky.
Sharon posted the link right in the chat. Sharon's right on top of it. Thank you, Sharon.
Yeah, I have a variety of stuff that I know about now that I can be successful. And the more you know about stuff, the more successful you're going to be. I mean, there's even people that are selling vintage underwear in packages. You see it, you get it. I mean, it sells. Why not?
Yeah, I always get the title screwed up, but old stock, new in bag, or whatever the title is. But yeah, basically vintage things that have never been worn, like underwear and bras, and
absolutely
big money in that.
New old stock, they call it.
New old stock? Okay.
Yeah, new old stock. Stuff to stay away from, that I stay away from and look at and I don't waste time in yards. If I see a box of Beanie Babies, I'm not going to look at. There's just things I don't look at. Avon bottles, I stay away from them. Jim Beam bottles, I know what ones of those are valuable. You'll see them all the time. They're always overpriced. Unless that thing's full and that seal's not gone, which you can't sell on eBay, but you can find somebody still to buy that. That has value, but stay away from Avon. You got to. It was bad when it was sold, so stay away from it still.
We were talking about those golf community yard sales. I went to one, and one of the guys was selling Jim Beam, and I told you told the chat before. I did that for 30 plus years in the wine and liquor business, and I'm looking at this guy's prices. It's like, you're like eBay plus prices. You're like, these were my dad's collection. I said, yeah, well, that's all well and good. I said, but I resell part time. I said, you're eBay plus prices. I said, and I looked at one or two things. I said, can you do anything with the price? And the guy came down a few dollars, but it was like
they're $1 a piece at most.
This guy was selling stuff for $50, $60, $70, $80.
You know what? The cap guy, You think of hats, and I think of Cernock connections, and I didn't think about hats. And my God, that's another of these K brand hats. You can find those, and a lot of times in my area, I've seen them until I knew about them now. But there used to be bins of those things out there, and you get a buck a hat, and you can make $70 for a stinking hat. So that's
The
something.
letter K brand.
K brand, and some of the sports ones too. You see LA Raider hats or something like that. Look at all that stuff. I mean, get your stinking phone out and start comping. And all these people in here all know about the hats.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Bobby's in the chat. The Cap Guy has a show on after mine. He'll be going on shortly, so I'm sure he'll pop in this chat. Sports specialties. Okay, he's the Cap Guy. That's why. All right, I want to see if there's anything else. So, as far as like, do you route your yard sales and garage sales? You have kind of routing? Do you use like Google Maps, or how do you determine that?
Don't ever listen to me, or I have no plan. I've never had a plan. I'm scatterbrained. I just go. I pick the first one, and then I kind of think of the second one. But this weekend, I'm going, there's 4 community yard sales. Well, one was the same thing, and I kept thinking, after I hit it, I kept saying, Lums Pond, Lums Pond, Lums Pond. Well, it was already in Middletown. It's the one I already hit, and it wasn't Lums Pond, but I don't know if it's dyslexic or whatever, or just me from too much alcohol when I was young. I kind of read too quick or something. I missed that word. It's just like I thought I had a pick yesterday. I'm dancing all over the place. Dover, Delaware. I'm going to go home, then a half hour away. I'm going to make a video, and I'm going to pick up some cool stuff. Well, I put it in Waze. I'm on the road, and it says Route 83 or something, and I could have swore I'd seen 100 and some miles away. It was Dover, Pennsylvania. So there I go again. So 50% of the stuff I think I'm going to get, I don't get, but the 50% I do get right, it's thumbs up. I'm on the street. God loves me. I think
I'll share something. And again, guys, I know most of you are experienced sellers, but sometimes, I always say, what happens when you assume. I don't say it on the show because I'm trying to keep it G-rated. But sometimes when you assume, things happen. Yeah. One thing I do, and it helps, and you can make a list of, I love using the yard sale treasure map. Now, 99% of the yard sales are not in yard sale treasure map because they can't source from Craigslist. So I guess people basically have to manually enter them in there. But what I do often is I go on Google Maps, and I'll look, something up on Craigslist or wherever I find the yard sale, and then I'll copy and paste it into Google Maps, and then I'll put it, on my computer, and then I'll do a search for directions, and then what I do is you can text it to yourself or email it to yourself. Mm-hmm. So what I do is I text that direction to my cell phone, my smartphone. So then all I have to do, and now I moved up to the 20th century. I have a 3-year-old car that I bought used, but it has all these computer hooks up, and you can hook in your Android phone or your iPhone. So I can connect that, through Google Maps, and it'll navigate me to the location. And you can put in multiple, you can text yourself to various locations. So maybe you don't want to put them all in. You can put the second or third or fourth address in, and then you have it, at least the first one text to you, and then it can navigate. You get to the first stop. And to me, it's helpful.
Yeah, well, your area too. You take the wrong turn, you got a lot of what's densely populated. We're kind of in betweens, and then and stuff's going on, but there's signs everywhere. I just chase the signs, and then I'm chasing that sign. I get lucky, and somebody's pulling stuff out of their garage. I just and I'll flip around.
Well, you're a lucky man. You should be hanging out the casino.
That's what I stay away. I stopped playing lottery altogether. I don't do any. That used to be my big thing.
You should be at Delaware Park playing the slot machines and playing the horses.
Yeah, they give me the damn tickets ripped up already. I'm like the mush in that one movie, man. They'll give me the tickets ripped in half.
The mush.
Yeah, so it's just like I was going to pick up the one typewriter that I already had, so I was heading over to Hokessen a couple weeks ago, and there's a yard sale on the way. So I had time. I looked, and I'm going up and down the street. I said, guys walking the street. I said, Where's the yard sale that's supposed to be here? It says right here. He opens the door. He says, "You come on in." I started bang, 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 bang. It's a moving sale. He's moving his mom out. That's older than me, so there's going to be old stuff. So there you go.
As far as typewriters, and again, I know very little about typewriters. Can you give us just some basic 101 kind of tips as far as sourcing typewriters, or if we see them out at yard sales or garage sales?
Yeah, the little guys. You want the little guys. They're still heavy, but they're still easy to ship.
Ladies, don't get excited.
Oh, they see
Harry's showing his legs.
It's that backside. That backside. That's right. This is Adam's show. No, but here's an old Underwood. So, course condition. If it's all rusty and you press this and it doesn't move, don't get it. It's just a boat anchor. But look at them and check out the models and ask. Hopefully, there's pictures. But this one was from Facebook Marketplace. That one was from a flea market. I've got a box with about 20 of them back there from yard sales and Facebook Marketplace. I get a couple $100 for some of these. Why not? And when they're in a case, if this had its case with it, you got about $250 typewriter.
So it's just a collectible that people are collecting. I mean, honestly,
I don't know what the heck they're doing with them. I don't ask.
You don't ask as long as they pay and their money's good.
They send people use them for decor. People collect these things. Tom Hanks is Mr. Typewriter before I start, so I'm second in the row now. No, okay. I'm not collecting these. I sell them. The big ones, the bigger they are, the harder they are to ship. I'd kind of stay away unless it's a rare one, but just comp it again. You'll see Underwood and you'll look at it and you say, okay, that one in that picture has 3 red keys on this side and a green one on that side. So you look through that and that kind of tells you the years. If they're all black keys, that's basic. This has a couple greens and that makes it more desirable, I guess.
The brand is Underwood.
The Underwood, Remington's a good one. Smith.
I thought Remington made razors. They made typewriters. Okay.
If you see I think it's like Hermes or something like that. That's a high-end one. There's some old ones that are real high-end. There's Oliver's that are kind of funky. I just keep grabbing them like the dummy sitting on that. That's the big ones.
Well, what brand is that?
I'm sorry. That one there is a Remington.
Remington?
Right? Yeah, no, that's an Underwood too. So
okay.
The Remingtons are in the other room. But I picked one up last year for $5. It was orange. Say, how much orange typewriters do you see?
I've never seen
Noah or any of it. You see that funky color? Grab it. It was 70s. Had like the racing stripes on it and stuff. Plastic kit hardcover. Got $175 for it. It's easy. And there YouTube, go to shipping, go to repairing, go to cleaning. You'll find everything you need right on YouTube.
That was my next question. I was going to ask you about shipping. And
one guy says, look, I want you to send this to me this way. I'm saying, come on. He says, no, please. He says, look at this video and then do what the guy said. I said, sure. Took a rubber band just like he wanted, wrapped in a cellophane, put it back in, bubble wrapped and stuff. He was happier than hell. It worked because he said they break because they'll start moving around. And you don't want them. You don't want
the carriage to be shifting.
It'll start ripping stuff up. So
that's kind of like I watched the Pete Craigslist Hunter, and he was talking about like the turntables. You lock down the turntable and make sure the cartridge is locked or taped down or not taped down, with rubber band down.
The guy claimed he told me to do something I didn't, and he claimed it was broke, and I had to give him his money back. So who knows? That's the real Philadelphia right there. That was Philly.
That's the real Philly pick.
That's the real deal, man.
He's actually in Philly.
There's cheesesteaks, pretzels, and then there's Joe and the Eagles and the Phillies. So that's the real McCoy. So there you go.
Well, we don't mention Eagles and Phillies because we'll have Bobby jump out of the chat. He's a big Dallas fan.
Well, I used to get pissed, man. I remember this is when the change. To get off subject real quick, my little sports story, but I was down here watching the Eagles and the Giants just beat them. And a lot of Eagles fans will know this because Plexiglass Burrow played for the Giants. He caught the pass in Philly and throws the ball at, the thing. And all the Philly fans are throwing shit all at him and stuff. And my kids come down, they're little girls at the time. Daddy. I go, Connor! I was mad. God, I said, what am I doing? I have no control over this. And from that day forward, I did not break any more TVs or get mad about Philadelphia Eagles. Nowadays, I could care less, to tell the truth. Dallas wins, I'm happy. When I was a kid growing up, if you wore Dallas, oh my God, they would bombard that poor kid.
And you grew up in South Jersey, you were telling me.
Yeah, it was all probably some of the worst fans in the country come from South Jersey.
Tell me about it.
Wilmington,
I've been there my whole life. Like I said, I'm not
Delaware,
trying to get down to Delaware, but
they always blame Philly because it's Philly too.
a lot of them are from South Jersey. A lot of
they're all the same. That's that gritty area. Just like and New York fans are no different. That when those two get together,
New York, Boston. I mean, that's just they're just passionate.
Oh, Boston's horrible too. They always blame Philly because Philly's just well, it's Philly.
Wendy's using an unusual term. I used to call it trash pick, and I heard people call it curb co. Wendy wants to know: do you ever treasure pick from the side of the road on trash day?
I've seen stuff and I've stopped and gotten it. I've went and dumpster dived twice.
One dumpster dive. I'm not going in a dumpster.
No, not that dumpster. Those long ones.
Okay.
A buddy of mine, he goes, "Hey, I'm painting the house, and we're putting stuff in a dumpster that he don't want." I said, "Why are you doing it?" He says, "Oh, I put the toolboxes on the end for you." I go over there, and there's 2 toolboxes, full tools and old stuff from the 40s. Just big. I mean, big. So I got those 2. But I go in that dumpster. I found bags of money. This is God's truth.
Bags of money.
Quarters. Bags and 2 bags of quarters. I found sterling silver. It's the best pick I ever had. Sterling silver in a box. I found baseballs. I found a whole stamp collection from probably the 90s. He bought that book every year, loaded with all the stamps from that year. They were plate blocks. So these are about China.
And they were still in good condition and they were in a dumpster.
No, they're in perfect shape. He sat it in. He didn't do this. They didn't do this. So the China wasn't broke or anything. I just filled my car up. I said, "Why did you throw this in the dumpster?" But I opened that shoe box and I looked on that one spoon. I still got 2 pieces of it left. And I see this is in there. This is sterling silver. This is the last 2 pieces I got. Well, everything had that pattern. So these big spoons and stuff. There's like $800 worth of silver in a shoebox. So that was a good dumpster dive. The other one was picking up beer cans from a guy, and he says, I said, "Do you have this, that?" And he says, "We just threw that in a dumpster out there." I said, "Here we go." So I go in and start dumpster diving, but he had a lot of glass in there and was slippery. So I only got a few things, some boat motor parts, which sold easily on eBay, and an old land Kodak, one of those big ass cameras, land number. It wasn't the good one. Polaroid land cameras, I guess they were called. The little orange ones are the ones you want.
2 things I want to ask you before I forget. You had mentioned earlier in the chat, I want to come back to it. You said you go to house cleanouts. Is that something you network with people that do cleanouts, or how do you do that?
Yeah, buddy down the street. He's been in a lot of my videos. He sells roofing shingles. So he knows the guys that flip these houses. So they'll call him and say, "Today we're going to clean that house out tomorrow." So he calls me. We go up there in 2 vehicles and we fill it. And oh my God, I found so much. That's how I learned about teacups, which don't laugh because they're worth a lot of money. I've learned about a lot of things by these cleanouts. Sometimes there's even jewelry still in there. Well, he gets all the jewelry. I give him all the cash, but everything else is kind of like
everything else is
just free game. And he gets the Halloween stuff, but everything else, we found so many toys. I've got box loads of little GI Joes. I got Star Wars stuff. Just each pick was there. One was NASCAR stuff. It was all and stuff's. The houses have been abandoned for a while. They've been run through, but they leave all the good stuff still. Vines are growing inside homes. There's animals in there. There's birds flying around you. Yeah. You'll see coon poop. I've seen. There's always mice. Always mice. I found guns. a 20 gauge shotgun. I found BB guns. We found old pictures. You name it, we found it in these houses. It stinks. They stink. You put a mask on.
Like I say, you have your mask in, you wear your mask, right?
Oh, there's a video of me going into one place and the paint's hanging from the ceiling like this, just chips of it. But the place was just full of treasure. I took she had cases of those stamp block things, like crafts,
Yeah,
stamp.
yeah, they sell well, apparently, yeah.
I brought all those home and just sold them as a lot on Facebook Marketplace. Met a person, they were tickled to death. I knew they were some value. They were going either in that dumpster or my car, and so I just took them. The NASCAR stuff was over the top. It was sprint cars, those dirt racing cars. People love them things. Not the names you know. He's got the fins on top and stuff. And for some reason, these were good ones. 124 scale and 118 is even better. So if you see that stuff at yard sales and they're sprint cars, dirt cars, or the midgets, they all race on the dirt. They're good money.
Okay.
$5 and the 50, stuff like that.
And that's something you can research on eBay or whatever to get the value.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Some names that you've heard of do both. They'll even go up because they just love the race. But a lot of those names are ones you haven't heard of, and for some reason, those ones do good. And the other stuff I have doesn't do good. That's just I can sell that at a yard sale for $5. The Dale Earnhardts and the Jeff Gordons and stuff. Not to say they all are, but the ones I sell all the time, they sell better at a yard sale than on eBay or something.
Yeah, I have some things listed on eBay with NASCAR, and I'm not doing very well with them. I'm surprised.
Yeah, I was too. Shirts and jackets, some of that stuff's good. It's what's you got to see what's hot.
Okay, I'm going to ask you the typical reseller show question. What's your biggest flip as far as dollar wise or percentage wise? What sticks in your mind?
Lately it's one of those Scotty butters. I got $400 for it. So I paid.
So you had $5 into it, I think you said.
No, nothing. That nothing. These were. I got like 8 of these, maybe a few more, but one just like this. This is the Newport, and this is another. This is Santa Fe. So there it is. And I didn't know this guy from a long lost relative. I didn't know who he was until a few months ago when I got.
How did you get those again?
I'm sorry.
How did you source those again?
These came from Facebook Marketplace. There was that guy held them for me too for 2 days. He said
they were free and he held them. Wow.
He held a whole. He says you're going to fill your vehicle. He says you're coming, right? He says I've had so many people. He had a guy coming from Canada that wanted. They were begging. He says he already gave them. He kept his word. I was tickled pink, not even knowing that these were in there because I got some wood shaft hickory handle. I thought I'll throw most of these away and I'll keep my wood shaft ones. And so I started looking and comping them as soon as I was getting them out. I'm going.
Mike says he offered you 10,000 for you to turn them down.
Who was that? Mike.
Mike,
he knew what they were. He seen the video, and a lot of people did, and so did I, because I have my buddy that I pick with all the time. He's I say, comp that, when he goes, oh my God, and he shows me, and I said, uh-oh, this takes me up another level, so that's cool. Little Debbie.
There's little Debbie showing some love. So real quick, guys, I want to see if there are any additional questions while we have Harry on. He's gracious enough to give up his time to come on and answer questions for us about reselling, about yard selling and garage selling particularly. But if you have any questions for Harry, why don't you pop them in the chat? I'm just going to do some housekeeping. Then Harry, I want you to talk about your YouTube channel while we see if any questions come in the chat, guys. One thing I just wanted to bring up again, we're resellers. We're here to, it takes time, takes money, whatever, to do reselling. It also takes time and money to do YouTube. So I'm not monetized. I'm just putting it out there. If you guys got any value, please make sure you subscribe and click all the notifications on. Again, I have expenses involved. I have buy me a cup of coffee, PayPal, Cash App, etc. I also have some Amazon links for the supplies I use for reselling. Even if you don't buy anything of my supplies, quote unquote, if you click on that link, Amazon pays me a small commission on anything you buy at no cost to you. So if you're gonna buy something on Amazon, whether it be food, whatever, every little bit helps. There's like I said, I eventually got to hook up this new computer. I had to buy a new monitor, so there's costs involved. Also, Randy, my moderator, is gracious enough to offer me a small commission, and again, no cost to you guys. Randy has a great company where he sells coffee, spices, and old-fashioned candies. When you register on Randy's site, and again, all those links are in my description below. If you register on Randy's site, you just put AE when you put your name in after your name, and Randy is kind enough to pay me a little bit of commission on anything you buy, and no cost to you. So let me just see if there's any questions in the chat, Harry, and then we can get into your YouTube channel. Sharon, Randy, Michelle, did I miss any questions? I think I got everything. Let me know if I missed it. So why don't you talk about your YouTube channel? And again, if I'll monitor the chat for any questions in case we missed them. I'm going to bring them up to you after you talk about your YouTube channel.
Okay. I do it for fun. I have a blast doing YouTube, and that's why I do it. It started off basically talking about collecting stuff like that, but it doesn't last long. And I do top 10s on silly things like rock and roll bands and stuff like that. Anything that comes to my mind. I have 2 drink minimums. So that's what I do. I just sit and talk to myself like I'm doing right now, and people ask questions, and it's a lot of fun to me. I like making the videos. I put them out there for the yard sales and stuff. If you ever get a chance, check them out. It's all stuff I found over the last few years. I started off on Instagram, rating food and just being silly and making a few neighbors laugh. And it got to this point where now I'm on YouTube throwing videos out there for the public to see and either hate me or like me. There are people that actually get a kick, so that's cool. So you ever get a chance, this weekend I will not be going live because I'm on call. So if I do, it'll be a pop-up. I don't schedule things. I just do it. It's usually like 8 o'clock on a Friday night. Have a couple beers and relax and just get goofy. Talk about anything. I call them, and Saturday nights, if I do, it's called a yard sale final. So that's how I'm doing it. Some of these people in here come in. Little Debbie hangs out, and Flip Mike, and Tommy, and a few others pop in and out. And that's cool.
There's a question from Little Debbie. Basically, how far do you drive to go for a yard sale?
I bet you I go over 100 miles every weekend. Before
over 100 miles every weekend from yard sales.
Don't tell my wife doesn't know. She'd be going, you put miles up. Yeah, you got. But I get in the yard sale overtime. Maryland and Pennsylvania are right here, so I just hit the country. I mean, I'm out in the cornfields and stuff, and that's where you find that yard. That's where that
old
yard
tools is. And eyeball antiques.
It is. I just start chasing signs. Last week, I didn't even know where I was at Tax Point, where I finally did see the sign. But it's beautiful out there. And these people are the boating community. So those chances are we have things called oyster cans that are very valuable. You might find beer, you're going to find antiques, but then you can get into vintage fishing stuff, which is another bang. So there's all kinds of cool stuff out there, and it's people they build around all that Chesapeake watershed. That's where I'm at. So you got great scenery, and it's a nice country ride. That's how I do it.
Stephen, Harry's in Delaware.
I come into PA. I go into Chester County and Delaware County. Delaware County is
because that's pretty close. Yeah, you don't even have to cross the bridge.
Main Line and Median, Springfield, those areas. I just went into Chad's Ford and picked up, oh my God, these 2 fantastic old pressed steel vehicles. One's a fire truck, one's like a road working thing from the 50s. They're on I was going to bring the fire truck in. It's gigantic stuff.
Yeah, so it's too big.
It's just big. That I just
Stevens in Montgomery County. Okay, I didn't realize that. Okay,
cool.
Yeah, so sources in Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Maryland.
Yeah, Maryland's 10 miles. 5 miles through the woods here in Middletown. So I can be in Cecil County, Or if I go up to Wilmington, there's Delaware County one way, and Chester County's up 202. So that's all my territory. Plus, I could sneak into New Jersey.
You got to pay to get back into Pennsylvania or Delaware. You got to pay the bridge toll, though.
Yeah, Camden County, Gloucester County, and Salem County.
Salem County, yeah.
I know those well. I'll drive over there if I see something.
Yeah, I think you said you got your last typewriter was in Gloucester County in the Woodbury area, right?
Yeah, I've gotten a couple up in that area. Right up in West Effort. So, right. Woodbury, West Effort areas. A lot of old houses up there, and old houses have old.
That's where you find the collectibles and antiques. Mm-hmm. Okay, guys, I just wanted to thank you all for being here. And I always say time is your most valuable asset. Again, I'd like to thank Harry for his time. And those of you that are here in the live, as well as you watching the replay, I appreciate you stopping by. Again, don't forget to hit the thumbs up on your way out. And like I said, I do a live stream every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, typically. I'm always looking for other resellers to have on, and I'm AdamsExploits on all my social media. Harry's link to his YouTube channel is listed in the description below, as well as all my links. So if Harry has a great show, and like I said, he does a lot of videos, and he also does some pop-ups. And his pop-ups typically are just kind of hang out, relax, and joke around. And he does a list and different things, so they're entertaining, just for a place for your talk reselling and kind of unwind a little bit. So if you're not subscribed to Harry's channel, please consider subscribing. Like I said, Sharon's been posting a link, and the link is in the description section below also, guys. So appreciate you all being here, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Don't forget, Bobby the Cap Guy is on live now as well, I believe. So if you want to head over to Bobby, I'll be going over there shortly. Just want to say goodbye to Harry, and I'll see you guys over there. Thank you all for being here.
Have a good night.